How's it going, everybody? MyCupOfTea here, back in the reaction video, and we're here to watch some more Pokemon videos. Yay, yay. Now, this one was not planned because when I opened up my YouTube homepage, this video that we're about to watch just popped up. I'm like, you know what? I think we should watch it because this is kind of crazy. So today we're here with Lockstin and Gnoggin, which I was planning on watching one of their videos later on, but we're gonna be watching their newest video called About the Thing with These Pokemon. Now, in case some of you might not know, I think it was yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, I think there was a data leak with Game Freaks, the people who make the Pokemon games. And what was leaked are some kind of shocking, disturbing things with the Pokemon lore going on there that they were making up, or one of them were making up. Like some really crazy unhinged stuff. Now, I don't know all of it. I just know like a couple of them because of some of the YouTubers I watch, like Penguin. Something with, what was it, Typhlosion? That you see right, oh wow, yeah, there's a dumbbell right there. As you see in the left corner, I think it's Typhlosion, right? Typhlosion. It's not good. It's weird. It's very, very unhinged. So we're gonna check this out. And yeah, let's see what happens. Hey, listen, 2024 has been a crazy year. It has been a crazy year, and we still got what? November, December. Still got 2 more months left. This is crazy. We're not even done with October yet. Goodness. Go.
Hey yo, this video is more mature than the stuff I usually talk about. It's all in the context of historic education, though.
Yep, we're going straight to M.
PG-13, maybe a little higher. You've been warned.
I'm ready for it.
With the over a terabyte of official Game Freak information
over a terabyte, I didn't know that.
Online right now, there's a lot of folks who want clout and attention and to just make things worse, so they are throwing things like fanfics and fan art and Fakemon into the mix. And there is a semi-decent chance that this not safe for work Pokemon zoophilia stories that have been going around
I don't know what that is.
Part of that. But there's also a good chance it's not. If you don't know, there are 4 short stories going around that were supposedly written by a Game Freak developer in the offices, and those stories involve diddly doodly with a piddly poodly. Sex with Pokemon. As if that isn't one of the most common things on adult furry sites. But I get it. It's different when it's actually from Game Freak's
it's very different.
offices.
I might go back and try to read this little... I'm not going to read that.
Even though this kind of thing has been referenced already in the Gen 4 games, albeit not as explicitly.
Okay, sure.
We'll get to that. So the fan base is going a bit wild, if not degenerately, then finger-waggedly, or my poor innocence is ruined! And then there's me, an almost chronically online 30-year-old who spent nearly his entire adult life studying Pokemon for a living. There is not a single innocent molecule in my body. And
yeah, I know. I be seeing his thumbnails sometimes when I'm scrolling through his through the YouTube channel. Like, alrighty, I see what we're doing here. He must have seen some things, and yeah.
I'm standing here now to say, no, this isn't like Game Freak's demise. This isn't like some big dark thing that's gonna blow up in their face and cause a huge global
scandal. It's only one developer, right?
Nintendo's gonna come crashing down and no longer make games because of some text documents. Guys, y'all are making a mountain out of a molehill. These write-ups are excellent for world-building exercises, and were never meant to be seen by anyone outside of Game Freak. And remember...
I'm reading that. What was that? There was a man in the village. One day, the man went up for a starter. Got my glasses because I can't see. Gantler. While walking along the coast, he found a Lapras on the beach. The man had relations with the... Okay. So he sent back to the sea. Next day, he went to the same spot in the same Lapras, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I did it again. 2 days passed, had a dream. Okay, alright. Sounds like it's extremely explicit, that one. Okay, but you know. Yeah.
And we're never meant to be seen by anyone outside of Game Freak. And remember,
still weird a little bit, but yeah.
Deleted canon is non-canon.
Right.
The people saying, how could they do this in a game or anime made for kids? And, like, that's exactly why it's not in the games or the anime.
Yeah.
It's just on a developer's computer.
It's not
It's a
canon.
world-building exercise, trying to take real-world mythology and see how to apply it to the Pokemon world. And they are honestly extremely tame, all things considered. In the Typhlosion story, Typhlosion is like many yokai, apparently, able to illusory make themselves appear to be human, and the Typhlosion tricks a girl into living with him, and they get happily married, even though it's all a trick. And then they have babies. The Octillery story.
I don't know about that. I don't know if we can count a happily marriage if you trick the person.
Happily married, even though it's all a trick. And then they have babies. The Octillery story is as explicit as man finds Octillery, has relations with it, and later the talking Octillery says, hey, here's our child, please take care of him. The Lapras story is basically an early draft of the Octillery story. there's a fifth one. It's Rapidash.
What?
It
What?
isn't extremely explicit. It's just, hey, I'm Rapidash. This is my husband, human man. Now Ponyta start appearing in a field over time. And the Slack-Off story is the most explicit.
Okay, I don't know about slack off.
Though it leans more on violence than sex.
Violence?
And even then, it's just some humans were being cruel to a Slack-Off. A Vigoroth defended the Slack-Off, and one of the women lost consciousness in the attack. She
Okay.
woke up in a cave with a Slacking much later, and then much later, she gave birth to a Slack-Off.
Woman was unconscious from a Pokemon. Woman ended up in a cave with a Slacking, and months later she gave birth to a. Wait, hold on.
Cave with a Slacking much later, and then.
Oh, I thought that was a Pokemon. Okay, yeah, much later she gave birth to. Let's see where this goes. Doesn't look right. It looks very bad. Very bad.
Much later, she gave birth to a Slack-Off. Like, yeah, that's a bit weird and messed up, but again, this is not the scandalous cancel Game Freak fetishization story that folks are claiming it to be.
It's just really messed up.
Trying to invoke real-world mythology. I mean, have you seen real-world mythology?
I know they go
Loki
crazy.
gets freaky with a horse,
Zeus-
and then he gives birth to an 8-legged horse. The Nile River is
I know Zeus is like really messed up in like the actual mythologies, the stories. Like he's like just like, oh, Zeus. The heck, you're just an evil person. What you be doing to
literally
people?
Osiris's junk, and pharaohs have to masturbate into the Nile, or the helpful floods won't come. Zeus is like, hey, mortal, want to have a go with me? And she's all, oh no, heavens not. Maybe if you were a goose, though. Repeat with different animals, dozens upon dozens upon dozens upon dozens of times. Minotaur lore, anyone? Gilgamesh's entire epic happened because he turned down an advance from a goddess because she frequently does the deed with a gang of goats. Gilgamesh thinks that's
Oh,
icky,
what?
and
Yeah,
so
that is
she
icky.
killed his male wife.
Oh.
Seven from Inuit mythology
heck?
was offered a plethora of fine potential husbands, but she turned them all down because none of them were as good in bed as the dog. She later was forced to marry a bird, though. The Hindu god Shiva is all like,
Oh, sure,
hey,
sure.
Agni, my fellow man, quick, turn into a parrot and give me a and swallow my
Hey,
so
yo,
that when you
whoa.
later have sex with your wife, she will have my child. Because that's totally how it works. Another time Pandu
Yeah, we're gonna
is
let it
just
go by.
casually telling a story which just so happens to include, while I was engaged with sexual intercourse with this deer, and like there's still Hindu temples with statues depicting this kind of thing, and many parts of Hinduism still allow this kind of behavior on certain animals. And just how many specific mythical beings from across the planet can be summarized as alluring woman, possibly with animal parts, says, greetings, traveling human male, would you like to join me for some sexy time over there where nobody can see
Yeah,
us?
thanks for animals
And then she
back
kills
then.
him.
Oh, okay, well.
I assume the names are still scrolling by. I could go on for eons. And Japan! Oh gosh, Japan! And there's the old trope and stereotype that Japan is like super into tentacles. And
Yep.
there's a historic reason
Trope.
for it. Artwork depicting human sex was punishable in the 17 and 1800s, so the artists got creative. There's no wiener in this art. It's not sex. That's an octopus. Even to this day, prawns depicting zoophilia is still legal there. But not
That's-
unpixelated privates. But still, ask
That's why they. Okay.
any folklorist or any mythology expert from any part of the globe, and they'll tell you about the zoophilia in it. Global mythology. If it's not bestiality, it's incest. So again,
Oh, no.
I don't think these Pokemon stories are needless fetish write-ups worthy of a big scandal. They were likely written as a baseline, let's take the local legends from the real world and Pokemonify them. Actually, the Rapidash one is labeled as... I have to go look at it again.
Oh, it's
Native
labeled.
American ecology philosophy, and reading through the whole thing, it does just kind of sound like all the Native American folktales I've read over the years. And now that we have some of these written up, we'll work backwards from there and make it appropriate for Pokemon.
Okay, so, because I know, like, you know, with every community, especially popular ones, with the fanfic community, whatever, you let it get out of pocket, some of them, like a handful of them, they get out of pocket. I know. But it seems like with Game Freaks, right, they weren't, like, trying to be like, yeah, let's just be messed up. Nah, they're trying to relate to, like, historical or mythology stuff, like, you know, related, or try to do, like, something with that. Is what it sounds like. Potentially. We'll see right here, but, okay. That's better. It's still weird, though. It's still very weird. But again, it wasn't supposed to be released to the public. Honestly, since he said there was like a terabyte leak of data, that's kind of like, what about the other stuff that was leaked? Like the most important stuff, like, you know, the games, maybe like accounts. I don't know. Like what else was leaked? Because I think everybody else is just focused on like just these scripts, these messed up lore stories. I don't know.
But we have some of these written up. We'll work backwards from there and make it appropriate for Pokemon. It's just like how a lot of the Gen 3 concept art in this leak looks so out there. Like, look at this Cacturn concept art. And all the others from this set. How are these Pokemon? They are horrifying.
That is horrifying, but it looks cool.
They're not. Not yet. The designers are getting all of their ideas put on paper as pure as they can make them from their heads. And then they work backwards to Pokemonify them. Like, Cacturn is still a spooky, messed up creep in the lore. It's a horrifying stalker that hunts you in the desert and uses sand for blood. So here's the horrifying original concept art of that idea. And now we need to work from this and Pokemonify it. Same deal with these stories, because this kind of thing is referenced in-game, albeit in an even tamer way. In the Kenalive library in Sinnoh, you can read a history book that says, there once were people that married Pokemon. This was a normal thing, because long ago, people and Pokemon were the same.
Okay, and then we go into a PlayStation ad. Alright, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, it seems like if really Pokemon, like, they can make a horror game with, like, their earlier creations of the Pokemon before they, like, made it more tame and more, you know, kid-friendly. But yeah, he said it, like, I guess right there, in the games, they used to marry each other, Pokemon and humans. Which means they also probably had, you know, relations. So it does sound like it's not that big of a deal. This part, at least. Now, getting leaked, though, in general, that's a big deal. But this part, just seems like it'd be like a small thing in the whole, you know, we got leaked thing for Game Freaks, or Pokemon, whatever. Alright, let's go.
A normal thing, because long ago, people and Pokemon were the same. And from there you can infer, what is it that married couples do?
Yeah, I just mentioned that, yeah.
For a married couple, but not okay for a not married couple. Of course, that is just the original Japanese. It was changed dramatically in the West. But it's incredibly fitting because of Ainu mythology, the people indigenous to Hokkaido, which Sinnoh is based on, which is where this library is. The Ainu creation story, not the creation of all creation, but the creation of the Ainu themselves, summarizes as goddess has sex with wolf, gives birth to the first litter of Ainu. The Ainu did not see themselves as different from animals, the way most humans do today, and this belief is incredibly common as the core of early indigenous religion across the planet. Hence, basically all of them containing rather explicit bestiality in their mythos. I mean,
when me want wife, but woman say no, and me too weak to bonk with bonk stick. What me do?
What me do is crazy.
Dear.
We
humans. More intelligent than animal. But we still not great spirit. Or gods. Clearly, gods did diddy party with animals. Made us.
Not the diddy party with animals.
Way back. Basically, almost as long as we've been painting in caves, we've been painting art of dirty deeds done with sheep. Though, of course, it wasn't this casual, everyday kind of thing that most people got involved with. Most people throughout all of history have had this built-in aversion to such activities, as it's dangerous, disease-spreading, weird.
Very weird, very disease-spreading, very dangerous. Yes, mainly weird and disease-spreading. And dangerous, so yeah, all three. Yes, yes.
Until
do not condone
religions
this.
came around that it was explicitly prohibited broadly. But with the Western world being culturally dominated by the legacy of Christianity, it makes sense that our gut reactions to these kinds of writing and Pokemon would be broadly negative. In my honest opinion, I do think it's a bit weird. Like, I'd never spend time writing something like this.
It's
but
weird.
Like, humans are weird. You know, have you seen humans? Have you seen our history, our stories?
Just go outside, you'll see one.
What is Beauty and the Beast, or King Kryn, or Baldur's Gate 3? The answer
I heard
is
about the bear.
Still weird. But there's nothing wrong with trying to write a folktale or four in your made-up universe that happens to sound a lot like real-world mythology and folklore. That's just a world-building exercise, a lore-making exercise. It makes the world that you're creating feel more real because you're basing it on real stories. And again, it was never meant to be public. Honestly, many things in Pokemon are likely originally written to be more mature and real, and then they figure out how to make them more appropriate for Pokemon itself, the thing targeted as being appropriate for kids, afterwards.
So yeah, I don't think like this is like you said, it's like too big of an issue. I thought it was like oh shoot, they're crazy. Game Freak's crazy. But hearing this now, I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. It's still weird. It's still weird. But it's not like, it's like, oh, that's outrageous. Now, I don't know if like they were being very explicit in the scripts, because if so, that's even more weird. But it sounds like this is still like tame-ish drafts, whatever, that they're trying to work on, or I don't know, world building. But yeah.
For Pokemon
not that bad so far. It's not that bad.
It's being appropriate for kids afterwards. I just told my wife about all this and showed her the stories, and her immediate reaction is like, and the fans are responding like that? Notably, she's also super into mythology and folklore stuff. How is this any worse than like Frostlass specifically hunting handsome men and pretty boys and freezing them solid and hanging their corpses up as decorational trophy things?
I didn't know about this Pokemon at all. Wait, what do you do? I'm blocking it, but soul of a woman lost on a snowy mountain possessed an icicle. Come in this Pokemon. Okay, that's the food it most values is the souls of men. Oh, treats the hikers who are come. Oh wow, yeah, we said that when it finds the human or Pokemon it likes, it freezes them and takes it to. Oh my gosh, yeah. The Pokédex is messed up. Shoot, the Pokédex is more messed up than the scripts we've seen so far. Like, what was that? It was the I know there's one that like kidnaps kids, never to be seen again. One that has like, where's the bone of like their dead mother or something? What was it? I forgot the name of it. Yeah, no, these Pokédex are messed up. Never mind.
How is this worse? And the answer, of course, is because Western civilization, for whatever reason, sex in any capacity whatsoever, murder, mass murder, targeting handsome men and hanging their corpses up for display. Yeah, we're gonna have to go with sex being the worst one. Yeah, that's actually true in the Western world over here. Yep. I don't get it. Yeah, the gaming industry kind of, you gotta tone down the sex in this, like, no appeal, like, more clothing on these enemies, these characters, but have all the murder you want, the blood, the gore, dismemberment, that's okay. We keep that up there. But we gotta lower the sex appeal part. We gotta lower that down. Or increase it. I don't know. One of the two. I'm like, what's going on here? And their corpses up for display. Yeah, we're gonna have to go with sex being the worst one. You know, the thing that we need to continue living as a species, and that a good 99% of people are, like, interested in. You know, definitely the worst one. But that's just my 2 cents. And now that you have those, could you check out my merch store, please? We got a little sale going on. Get some goodies. And never stop using your noggin. Always use the noggin. Want to know how the ancient Egyptians found out crocodile dung makes for decent birth control? No, I don't. Not one bit. No, you don't. Thank you. I don't. Please don't tell me. I never even had that idea in my head. But while this ad plays, I want to look at the comments real quick to see how they are reacting to this. I know this came out like 5-6 hours ago, but I'm curious how the comments are reacting to this of his channel or this video. Hey, hold on, he got some more information. Another thing to keep in mind, the stories as we have them now are just machines translated, so we may not have the most accurate versions. Also, I just learned that apparently the Nickelodeon and Disney vaults are full of these kinds of things, but like actually drawn out by official artists. It's apparently pretty common. Strange, albeit they were done for different reasons. Okay. Yeah, it's not worse than like what people are doing right now out there, like the fan people doing out there, fan face. Hey, no, the Pokédex stuff? Now that's crazy. What they be saying in that Pokédex. That's crazy, the information in there. I thought it was like a crazy thing that was leaked. Man, this ain't anything crazy. Now, again, let me just preface this. This is weird. I know it's based on mythology, but still, it's kind of weird still. It's still kind of weird, but it's nothing like, nothing mind-blowing, like, oh, shoot, cancel them now. They need to apologize. Nothing, well, for this. They don't have to apologize for this. Now, if they leak any personal data from the hack, they should apologize on that. But, nah, yeah, this is cool. I'm glad I watched this first. I'm glad I watched this. Yeah, other artists could be doing the same thing for their cartoons or games. Like, we just don't know. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's not like canon. It's just like they're trying to work on some ideas and world building for future stuff. So yeah, I'm fine with this. Okay, cool.
Cool. So we're gonna end the video right here. Got some more things I want to check out. I'm glad I watched this. It cleared up a lot of things for me. And yeah, I mean, hey, but still, the Typhlosion thing, that's still funny what's going on in the community. Calling him the diddler or whatever. That's still kind of funny. But, but yeah, hope you enjoyed my reaction and thank you for watching. My cup of tea is out of here. And deuces, everybody. Oh, man. But yeah, okay. I'm glad we got that covered. I'm still going to be laughing at these memes that people are going to be making. I'm still going to laugh at it. But it's good to know it's not that crazy. It's not that crazy.